So the project that we've developed at the University of Georgia is called EDDMapS, and it's Early Detection and Distribution Mapping System. And the whole goal of it was to make invasive species mapping easy. So you know, the old GIS-based tools sometimes can be very difficult for people to use, and because of Google and others who released systems where it's very easy to display maps with point locations on it, and also very easy to put a point on a map and report something, then we built the EDDMapS system on top of those technologies to make it very user-friendly for the public, and to try to compile data nationwide from all these different agencies, so you can go to one place and see the distribution nationally of these different invasive species.
It's fantastic. They're bad, but it's good if we know where they are.
That's right. And knowing where they are helps us be able to know the extent of the problem and what it's going to take to hopefully solve it.
And because we know that some invasives are more important to stop than others. So it's good to have these.
And you're able to draw lines on the map and say, you know, that this is an outlier population, so maybe we draw more attention to those populations and kind of hold the line and slow the spread of some of these species. So you can go in on the app and choose a species. Let's go back here. So you can choose a species, see the information about the species, view a picture of the species, and zoom in to get details of that species. And then, you know, you can also take a picture and upload the picture directly to the database from your iPhone. And we've got this for both plants and animals, but with a focus being on plants and animals in Florida. And if you notice, we've included some of the native species also to show, so you have the ID characteristics for like the eastern diamondback, so people can help know the difference between them and the ones that are more issues, such as the pythons.
Now, what are you doing to collaborate with the Texas Invasive database?
So we're doing two things. One of the things we're doing, and we have for a while, is shared data back and forth between the Texas system and the system we've created in Georgia, because the infrastructure here is in place, and so most of what we've been talking about is not reinventing the wheel. And so, you know, we work very closely to share information back and forth, and we're going to be working with them to help take the model of the iPhone app that we developed for Florida and implement it so it will report directly to their system and can be used here in Texas.
That's a very good notion of you. You don't want to rebuild the wheel, you want to make the wheel better.
Right, absolutely. And so, you know, there's things that, you know, we're, as part of the Invasive Plant Atlas of the United States website, we link to the Wildflower Center's website, so we have the native alternatives for the plants that, you know, nationwide. Here's where here are the native alternatives, and that database was already built, so there was no reason to recreate it. And they do similar things, linking to our pictures of invasive species.
Now you're working with the Texas Invasive database. Are you working with any other databases?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're, I mean, pretty much every state or region has their own regional databases, and so we're working across the country. You know, there's a project very similar to Texas in Alaska, and the same kind of situation where we're taking their database, doing periodic dumps and making it available so it's part of this national system.
Now, I remember in your talk you talked about using herbariums a lot. Are they another important step in your...
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, and it's something that sometimes gets overlooked. I mean, you know, having a herbarium specimen mounted in a herbarium somewhere is really the ultimate, you know, documentation of a species being somewhere. And unfortunately, in the age of being able to use your iPhone to report things, then sometimes the collecting the plant materials and all of that step gets lost. And so when we do our training workshops, we always encourage volunteers to, especially when it's something new in an area, to take the time to do a herbarium specimen and send it into a local herbarium.
Now, when you get an invasive, do you like to destroy it or to keep it there so you can tell its pattern of continuing?
Well, my normal statement with when it comes to mapping invasives is there's no reason to put a point on the map unless you plan on doing something about it.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you.